So we're doing the Tommy Shelby today, seeing as Peaky Blinders is almost back, they're back filming, so we might as well try and get some haircuts on the go. So what I'm going to do is essentially a very, very high disconnection, super top heavy and really close on the back and sides. Now, I'm going to stay as true to the Tommy Shelby look as I can, but it'd be nice to sort of showcase how you can add a few different things in there, like maybe obviously keep it nice and harsh, but create a bit more texture in it, more than it being too kind of almost DIY. So I'm using a few different techniques. Good thing as well with Raf's hair is super straight, so I'll show you a couple of blow drying techniques, how to create a little bit of curl in there, a little bit more texture in there as well. Alright? Basically just using the head shape to pretty much come up and off. As it looks a bit square now, when this blends in, I'm just going to create a little bit of roundness in the circle. From what I know doing when I've cut one of the guys from Peaky Blinders, he told me it was a 1 they have. So I'm thinking I might do a 1, but then I might maybe just do a really nice tight fade in the neck, just to have a bit more contemporary kind of edge to it, more than it looking like too much of a DIY haircut. Because essentially that's what it is. So. But the difference is, more than doing like what you do on a fade, where you kind of work down in layers, my number 1 is going to pretty much finish off where the 1.75 finished started as well. So it's very, very high and tight, but there's still an element of a blend in there. Bit of a twist to the neckline, just give it a nice little taper on the neck. So normally, if you're watching Peaky Blinders, it's almost kind of not really lined out. Obviously, it's as though they've done it themselves, but I want to have a little bit more professional edge to it. Might take on it a little bit more. So. I'm going to just shape it around the ears, but I'm not going to do any shaping around here. I'm going to do it very natural, so I want it to have a little slightly sort of unkempt look kind of thing. So keeping the line out nice and minimal. This technique that I'm doing now is extremely good for really straight hair, because obviously Tommy Shelby's like his hair itself is so kind of curly and quite coarse. But this is a different hair texture, but obviously we're trying to create the same style. So utilising a few different techniques, especially when you're doing on a different clients who might want that haircut, is quite good. So by doing this, I'm just kind of I'm almost like blending the hair in without sacrificing going too far into the hair itself. And this just helps to cap off any spiky hair and create that roundness that I'm looking for this haircut. So it's already starting to look like that kind of image that we're going for. A very high crown at the back, and the real disconnection through here as well. And you're getting that roundness in as well. So what I want to do now is obviously cut a little bit of length at the top, but maintain a lot of that kind of top heavy look. But obviously a little bit of a variation in looks as well, so you can wear it a bit smarter, you can wear it a bit messier, and I can show you that just through the art of styling more than anything else. Once the cut's in, it's quite a harsh cut, so you just have to use that haircut to get a few different looks. Previously I've done a lot of point cutting in this, but I want to keep it very sort of quite a basic, almost DIY haircut, so I'm going to cut what we call club cut or bun cut. Now this length is going to be the same pretty much all over. I'm not going to try and leave any length longer anywhere else. Obviously I've left as much length towards the crown so it doesn't spike, but I want to try and maintain a lot of length through the fringe, but I don't want it to be too obvious how much shorter it is anywhere else, because again we're going for that real top heavy look. It's quite a messy top. Right, so styling wise, obviously if you just got out of bed, you just leave it flat, brush it over to one side. So I'm going to show you more of a flatter version, and I'm going to show you a bit more texture. So again, the reason why I cut it blunt is so it doesn't sit, it sits a little bit sort of more uniform, so you can wear it a bit flatter. And the reason I still have a bit of texture in there, so if you want to mess it up, it's more like internal texture, so it's something that's going to give it a little bit more roughness to it. Can we show this?
Yeah, go on, mate. Just saying not out yet or something. So
yeah, a little sample of some new salt spray by yours truly. You want to drive this completely forward. You want to start running your fingers through it, everything's going to be coming forwards. And then just bring that fringe over slightly. You want to blow dry it on the blend, so where the round head is, so that way, as it sits flat, it really shows off the roundness. So just a little bit of salt spray, leave it flat. That's very much true to the actual when he's in his suit and stuff like that. But when you see it a little bit more messy, more salt spray, and then using a brush, I'm going to create, now with Raf's hair being so straight, I wanted to create a lot of bend and movement in there to really show off, to make it more true to that kind of messier version of his haircut. So I'm going to work down, just twist my brush, and work it forwards, and that's going to create kind of almost like little ripples, little waves in the hair. But as you scrunch it through, it makes it really messy and obviously a lot more bend in there. So high heat, low speed, you work one side, and you just twist, hold the heat on it, and pull. Another one. And then just scrunch it with your fingers. As you see, you start to get that movement and that real kind of curl in there and bend in there. And then scrunch it through. Now, to style. So I'm going to style it with a little bit of clay. So I'll put a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm just going to use a little bit because I've got a bit of salt spray in there. That's got the hold, that's created the look. That's just to finish it off. So what you do now, put it into your hands. Scrunch it into the hair. Now, I layer this in because you don't want it to look like you've got too much product in there because there's already a bit of salt spray in there.
It's fine already, it was rearranged. Thanks for letting me know though. It's like, oh, okay. I was like, bye.
And then, you do. Push it forward. And then just finish how you want. Have a little bit of lift in the fringe if you want it. And then just remember to flatten that back down there. Or flatten the sides and with your palm of your hand to get that real round finish. So there you go. And that is my take on the very own Tommy Shelby. You want a high #1 disconnection and then very top heavy. Best thing to ask for. It's you know, it's such an iconic haircut. I'm sure everyone knows how to do it. You know, and I'm sure everyone will have the variation how to do it. I could have just, you know, left no part and just kind of shaved right up and off. But with Raf's hair, the spikiness would have just been, it'd have been too much. That's why I had to use these techniques to kind of make it look rounder and make it look a bit, just a bit flatter as well.